So welcome everybody. I know we have just a few members of the press and public here with us today. This is the final day of what I would like to say is a pretty extraordinary couple of days.
My name is Deborah Rosenblum, and I'm the Executive Vice President of Nuclear Threat Initiative.
This is sort of a representation of all of the organizations who said yes when Creative Santa Fe said, why not Santa Fe? Why not this issue? Why not now? Roughly 40 participants from 3 countries. Think deeply about what in the present we want to change. And we can describe, vividly describe the future we want, and think about what we want to preserve from the present. There's a transition that we all get to be architects of. We get to build a bridge from a present that's imperfect to the future we want. We want to dedicate these 6 stories about a better future to Secretary Kerry.
We've literally spent more time talking about the danger of gluten.
It starts with conversations with the people we know and love. We need to do it now, later might be too late.
But rather to inherit a world that is green, clean, safe, and secure. And in 2045, a news headline reads, Legacy Coalition lands nuclear moonshot. Total warheads completed.
So that's the headline in 2045. The world has eliminated every last nuclear warhead from the planet. How did this happen? Well, as it turns out, about a decade from today, in the mid-2020s, there's an enormous superstorm in the Pacific. So in that single moment, the world is reminded of or learns about not only the growing climate risk, but a forgotten risk of nuclear weapons. So from that point in 2024, over the next 2 decades, the focus, the urgency of the nuclear risk from the weapons we have invented and built becomes a focal point for climate activists, facilitated by the power of journalists, and not only by those in the nuclear security community, but elements of the military itself that understand the risks.
What, to 2017? You guys had that, you had that crazy guy in charge. Weird, man. Tell you what, from the outside, it was pretty weird. The US in particular, the Brits came on board finally. They actually figured they needed to be part of the world, and they came on. And
Any country that is willing to sacrifice their people on this mass scale was not speaking for them. The movement started on social media. It began to gain momentum across the world. The symbol of combat boots became the symbol of this movement. This wasn't a personal issue. This wasn't something they were willing to die for. They gathered together a World Congress to address issues such as nuclear weapons that pose an existential threat to us all. They realized, finally, in this gaining of shared understanding, that some of these issues are just too big, that we have to work together to solve them. And that's where we are now in the year 2045.
We have our 2 teenage girls here. As they're talking, they say to each other, your people are animals. You're amoral. You kill without remorse. It's all about money for you. It's all about power for you. We're fighting for justice. And after a long time, they realize that they're probably not going to agree on this, but they have something in common. We've both had family members die from this. We don't want anyone else's brothers or sisters or mothers or daughters to die from this. They end the video by dancing together.
my colleague Paul here has said, it would be great if we could field the question, if there are any questions.
I'd like to come back to the first presentation, the Mom, We Need to Talk. Absolutely wonderful to be thinking about 2045, but I'm also thinking about the next few years about how to build up a much broader base of understanding of not only just simply military threats, but also things that can happen in terms of accidents.
We've got to start finding effective stories to begin to educate, even if it means we entertain at the same time.
I think that's fair.
We haven't really found, to me, in the course of the days, we haven't found a way to tie the art in yet. And it's just actually my better half's idea. We could have essentially a show here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, all right, that would both echo this conference and now create another level of awareness in another universe. That's my concern. There you go.
So there's things, again, that they're not as heavyweight and, you know, as amazing and mind-blowing as, you know, all of us getting on planes and flying to the same place and time, but they can still be very powerful. And also identify opportunities where you go, yeah, it's time to meet again in the same place.
I'd actually like to collaborate if any of you are interested in trying to share some of these stories to Teen Vogue, Glamour, and all of these millennial magazines. So if anyone's interested in collaborating with a story with me, or have any connections with these media outlets to pitch, I'd really welcome, you know, us getting together and talking about it. Thank you.